There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who know of the dong, and those who do not know of the dong. Today, my friends, you will ascend to a higher plane, to a group of people who understand the dong, who are fans of the dong, and you will know the truth. The dong is magical. The dong is correct. Special shout out to Zach Hazard for helping me make this. My gun facts aren't the best, I'll be honest. I don't really do small arms that much, which is why I've never really done a video on them before. So Zach helped a lot with making sure that the facts in this video passed the pub test, and can't thank him enough for it. Go check out his stuff. Anyway, welcome back to 5 Minute History, the weekly series where patrons choose the topic, and today we are discussing the dong. Courtesy of, well, they didn't give me their name. I'm going to take a wild guess that from a very particular place on the planet. Now, I'm going to flat out say this is not a video about the AK-47. I'm not touching that with a 400,000 kilometer pole. I don't know enough about guns and their history to even attempt it in a video this small as well. But I have done my research on the dong and I've spoken to someone who knows more about guns than me, so that does help. And so to begin with, well, we do have to talk a little bit about the You know what? No. We're not going to talk about the damn AK-47. It's the damn AK-47. Everybody and their mother knows what the AK-47 is. Hell, even your grandmother probably knows. It's the most popular assault rifle basically ever. We all had toys of them growing up. We all have seen them in movies. We've read about them in books. It's a magazine-fed assault rifle that fires the 7.62 by 39mm cartridge, which for the non-shooty bang people, the 7.62 is the kind of round that if it hits you, you're not getting up quickly. Now, after the USSR adopted the AK, it began to export the weapon across the Warsaw Pact. This is partially because it's a good weapon, well, for the year it was made, and because uniformity in an alliance is a good thing. It's why a lot of NATO uses 5.56 ammunition, for example. Romania was no exception here, and they began producing the rifle locally as the MD63. Now, initially, the first rifles produced in Romania were basically one-to-one copies of the Soviet weapons, but when the Soviets began to tinker with their design, well, the Romanians naturally did the same thing with their local product. And in 1963, the first locally produced Romanian AKs, the MDs, began to be distributed. Make no mistake though, the AK was a fantastic weapon for the early Cold War. Keyword early Cold War. We're not talking about the AK-47 today, but it does have issues. Most notably, if you put it in celebration mode, sorry, I'll do it in the Jeremy Clarkson voice, celebration mode, and fire, the rifle's recoil is such that if you aren't ready or haven't trained for it, you will start shooting straight ahead and finish shooting vertically. Yes, I have seen this in person. No, it is not pretty. Yes, you run very quickly to hard cover when some idiot does it near you. But the Romanians, they had a secret fix for this problem. And here we arrive at the dong. It only took a couple years, but in short order, the industrious little fellows in Romanian arms plants had a brainwave and decided that in order to stop the sudden shooting of the moon, they could add a front lower handguard which incorporated a vertical pistol grip. And so the dong was born. There are a few other changes with the new dongified AKs as well. See, the new version of the rifle switched from hardwood to laminate, using many sheets of wood glued together and then cut. Now, this theoretically is cheaper and lighter, and considering the AK is made of stamped and cast metal of dubious quality, having a weight reduction is undoubtedly a good thing. Zach, are you sure it's a smart idea here to point out the AK build quality was shoddy? They will find where I live.
Oh yes, the Soviet Union, famously known for their precision manufacturing capability.
Following the invasion of Czechoslovakia for the crime of not being enough of a communist utopia in the Pact of Communist Utopias led by the greatest ever communist utopia, these rifles were issued to the Garda, or the Romanian Civil Patriotic Guard, and modified to semi-automatics, and this is largely why you see these special AKs in photos of Romanian troops, or Garda. And you always see them usually in public places in the Cold War. These AKs, mind you, although they were modified to be semi-automatic, they had all the special pieces locked up in the barracks to convert them back from bang, bang, bang to bang, 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 that's the technical term, should the need ever arise. The Dong, however, did become threatened. See, there was a moment when its future was in question, and this is when the Soviets began introducing AK models with folding understocks. These folding stocks added a new level of flexibility within the AK platform, and the Romanians, not wanting to be left behind, wanted this flexibility naturally. While technically speaking, the Dong itself was fine and out of the way, the entire grip and receiver of the rifle was obstructed by the stock, which necessitated an entire redesign of the underside of the rifle. Thankfully, it was decided that less is more when it came to the redesign, and the Dong lived on, which means that during the Romanian Revolution, where they turned their dictator into a colander on Christmas Day in 1989, you can see plenty of photos of troops with Dongified AKs. Including this happy fellow here, look at him! Isn't this the greatest photo ever? But there is a catch here. See, when they modified the Dong for the underfolding stock, they had to bend it slightly in the other direction. There was also a necessary circumcision of the Dong due to it being slightly too long and interfering with the magazine and stock. But it was just a little one, so everything's okay. Now, that wasn't the most in-depth history of the AK or the Dong. I'm sure there is somebody on this platform who knows a lot more about weapons who could tell you a lot more. But this is the history of the Dong, and I know you, dear viewer, have ascended with the power of the Dong now that you have been made aware of it. Also, it does look visually pretty cool. It adds a certain level of texture and, well, interest to the AK platform. And aesthetics alone, it's pretty cool, right? Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks again to Zach for helping with this one. I will catch you all next time. Go subscribe to Zach's channel and check out his work. He also Twitch streams. Check him out there.